I'm sure you know like one or two people who can sit on the heels, like in Japanese sitting. They can do that for like 5 or 10 minutes or even longer. And when they get up, they can walk. You could be one of them.
All right, so we start with our Japanese sitting class. There's many lessons like this. This is one of them. Please come onto the floor or carpet or have a blanket somewhere. We will be kneeling. You don't have to kneel. If you cannot kneel right now like I'm doing now, you can just sit somehow. We will start in a minute. I just want to tell you a short story. Like when I was 12 years old, or maybe 14 years old, my brother used to go play judo. It's a fighting sport. And my mom wanted that I also play judo. So I also went to play judo. And we went to the dojo like 3 times per week. And I got thrown around and I threw guys around. And it was fun and it was painful, all this throwing and rolling. But what the most painful thing about judo was, in the end of each training, all the boys had to line up and sit in a row according to their height, neatly stacked up, neatly lined up. And we had to sit like this for 4 minutes, 5, just sit there in silence. And this was the most painful experience in the whole training, all over these years. I played judo until I was like 17. I want to show you a t-shirt. A friend of mine was quite a good judo player. He got this from Japan. One of my favorite t-shirts. Anyways, I stopped judo because of a skateboarding accident. I was in hospital, I had a skateboarding accident, I stopped judo, I stopped skateboarding, I stopped sports altogether, and that was that. But now I can sit like this. Now I can sit like this for 20 minutes, no problem. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then I can get up and no problem at all. In the judo training, after we get up, like most of the boys had a problem with it, just limping around for a minute. Anyways, we're not limping around, we want to start with the training right now. 2 minutes in, my God, I'm such a talker. All right, so we start. Please come on all fours. That's how we start. If that's painful for your wrists, you can use your fists. Come on to fists. Just make yourself comfortable and be on all fours. The knees, you're on the knees and on your hands. And then for a start, just get your toes to standing. Yeah, stand your toes. And then extend your feet again. And do this couple of times just to check it, how easy it is. If you have cramps in your legs while you do this, stop it. Take a pause and then continue. You can click on the video, just continue. Pause and continue. So do this with your left foot. Just extend your left foot a bit and get it to standing and see how that goes. You can put it more on the small toe and more on the big toe. Get it to standing on different toes. See how fast it is, how easy it is, how far you can extend your foot. That's one of the prerequisites to be able to sit back into Japanese sitting, to have a flexible foot. We'll get to this. The lesson will take care of it. Then try with the other foot. So there's one thing. Japanese sitting is a kind of a thing right now on YouTube, I think. And they do it in yoga classes and in fitness classes. And anyways, let's continue. Get your feet to standing and extending and do it faster. Fast, fast, fast. As fast as you can. One foot, the other foot. All right. Okay, that's that. Now, take your knees reasonably far apart and start to slowly start to sit back. Just bring your buttocks, your bum, a little bit behind and come up again. Don't force anything. Just feel when you go back what is the range that's easy? Where is the range that's easily available? Have your feet long, your toes flat on the floor, and go just like a little bit. So, how far do they have the knees to have apart from each other? How far do the knees have to be apart from each other? It depends on your hip joints. That's a whole study in itself. It's genetically dependent. What kind of race you're in, who are your parents, which area in this planet you're born. You will have different hip sockets, depth of hip sockets. Very narrow, very long. So maybe try with your knees together. Sit with your knees together, and then you will, if you have a big belly, this will be a problem. Maybe your back has to round a little bit. Maybe you're not as stable, so there's kind of instability built into this movement. And then bring your knees apart from each other with your toes together and sit back a little bit and see how far do your knees have to be apart from each other so you can go more comfortably. How does it make any sense? To come back a little bit. All right, next time you go back, you don't have to go back all the way, just go a little bit. Stay comfortable. Find what feels nice, find what feels comfortable. But next time you go back, lift your head a little bit. Not much, just lift your head a little bit and open your mouth, open your jaw, lower jaw, a little bit. While you're going back, open your jaw a little bit. Do this with attention, with awareness. Go back, so there's a little bit of an arch in your back. And you open your mouth a little bit, and then you come up again. I feel a little bit like Ricky Gervais in Derek. This English actor, you know him? He's so funny. He always makes this. So when you go back, you sit back, open your jaw a little bit. And come back up. And now, important point, take a rest on your back. Just roll onto your back and take a rest. For this, you need a blanket or carpet or anything. Just extend your legs, come to lie onto your back. I need to switch on my gear again so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so you're just on the back. Relax a little bit. We will do this a couple of times in this lesson. Just roll onto your back. Check your breathing, that your breathing is relaxed. Your legs have to be long. You can roll your legs a little bit to the inside, to the outside, and then come back on all fours again. Back on all fours. Okay, so we have been on all fours. Get your toes to standing this time. Get your toes to standing. And sit down onto your heels with toes standing as far as it's comfortable. Sit down. While you sit down, open your jaw a little bit. Okay, and now your next assignment. While you sit down, at the same time, lift your right knee off the floor. So you're still on your toes. You're on your toes, the toes are standing, and you lift your right knee off the floor when you go backwards. And then you come onto all fours again. So you come backwards a bit and you lift your right knee. So you have to have flexibility in your right hip joint. Find this movement. Take your time to find this movement. Don't force anything. Don't use habit to do it. Tack, 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 tack. No, just try to find this movement. You push with your hands. You come more and more onto your feet. See, there's a thing. When you come onto your flat foot, when the feet are flat on the floor, it's easy to sit on them. But when your toes are standing, there might be some tension in your toes. There might be some reaction in the toes, in the arc of the foot. There might be some strong reaction, and we try to deal with this reaction right now by using your knee, by lifting your knee. You come back and you lift your right knee and bring your weight onto your toes. So have your weight onto your toes. You come backwards and lift your right knee and bring your weight onto your toes, and don't try to oppose it. Don't try to fight it. Just go with it. Go into this feeling of lifting your right knee. Come onto your foot and then go back down again. And don't make yourself short. That's wrong. Don't shorten yourself. Don't draw in your neck. But instead, try to be long with your upper body. Try to lift your head, your eyes towards the horizon, onto the horizon, and open your jaw a little bit. Do this many times. Try to find how to do it. Just come back, lift your right knee, and then onto all fours again. Same movement, and always try to make it a bit better. What is better? I cannot tell you, I cannot see you. If I would see you, I would not tell you. That's something you have to find yourself. That's something you have to judge yourself, to develop a feeling of what is good, what is a nice movement, what is a nice feeling for movement. And then take a rest onto your back. Roll onto your back, take a rest. Have your legs long, that's important. Have your legs long, your whole body long, be resting on the floor. And then come back onto all fours. With the toes standing, and do the same thing with your left knee. The same movement. So you start to sit back, and while you're sitting back, you lift your left knee, lift the left knee, and bring it back down again. So make a movement out of it. While you start to sit back, lift the left knee. Don't claw your toes. Don't make a claw. Don't oppose this movement. Don't have any reaction in the toes. You come onto your toes. They should be soft. Your toes should be soft. Toes of the left foot should be soft. And just say welcome to this lifting of the left knee. So you're on your fours. When you sit back, instead of sitting back, you lift your left knee. You bring your eyes onto the horizon. You open your jaw a little bit. Yeah, and then take a short rest on your back. The legs long, you're lying comfortably on the floor. So at the same time, we get better with getting on the floor and rolling to sit on and be on all fours. Let's do this. Come on all fours. All right. And now, alternate. That's the word. Left knee, right knee. Sit back and once lift the left knee. Sit back and once lift the right knee. Sit back and once lift the left knee and once the right knee. So this is, of course, a small rotation of the pelvis. Something in the ribs. Your chest has to be flexible. Huh? Your neck has to be easy, flexible, not stiff. You go a little bit into extension. And every time you go back, open your jaw a little bit. Alternate. One addition. Instead of opening your jaw, you could stick your tongue out. Like a cat, when a cat is cleaning itself. You can stick your tongue out. I will not do it, obviously, it will look stupid on the video. But if you're home alone, you can do it. And it will make a difference. You can try it. It will make a difference. If you stick your tongue out, your progress will be faster. I don't know how that works, but that's just how it is. Right and left, and right knee and left knee. And then one variation is you lift. You can bring your hands closer to your knees. Yeah. So it's more easy to do this. My computer is running out of battery. Good to know. Thank you for the information, my computer. Okay. So you come back, you sit, start to sit down, and you lift your right knee, and then you lift your left knee, then you bring down your left knee, and then you bring down your right knee. When you start to sit back, you lift your right knee, then the left knee, then you bring down the left knee, and then the right knee again. And then change it. Lift the left knee first, lift the right knee, bring down the right knee, bring down the left knee. And always have this arch in your back. When you sit back, lift your eyes towards the horizon. You know the routine already. Open your jaw, maybe do like ice cream licking. This is some kind of reflex. I don't know the theory behind it. I didn't invent this lesson. I'm just teaching this lesson. There's a whole big theory behind it. All right. And then take a rest. And while you take a rest, I will find a cable for my computer. Some electricity for my computer. All right. Then come onto all fours again. And this time have the instep on the floor, the toes flat on the floor again. Toes flat on the floor, and start to sit back and come up again and start to sit back, bring your eyes on the horizon, open your jaw and come up again, have the knees reasonably wide apart from each other. Next time you go back, lift your right knee a little bit. With the feet long, flat on the floor, lift your right knee a little bit. Next time you go back, lift your left knee a little bit. All right, now we will exaggerate this a bit. Make this movement bigger. So you're with your feet with the instep flat on the floor. While you go back, you lift your right knee, and at the same time you lift your right hand and you turn to the right. Got this? You're on all fours, but then you start to sit back. While you sit back, you start to lift your right hand, your right knee, and turn to the side, and then stick your tongue out or open your jaw, and then come back again. This is a super difficult movement. Super difficult, because you have to lift your right knee, right? So don't fall over, try to stay in balance. Lift your right knee, but at the same time we have a side bending of the chest. We have an extension of the chest, and we have a twist. Lots of things going on. So you start to sit back, lift your right knee, lift your right hand, turn to the right, open the jaw, and come back again. Practice a little bit. Should we take a rest? I think we should take a rest. Take a short rest on your back. Just we don't take rest because it's strenuous, but so our nervous system can accommodate the new movements, the new movement patterns, the new connections we are making in the brain through the movement. We're getting to know, we're studying, exploring new kind of movement patterns. And so we have a little bit time so it can sink in, and then once we get up on all fours again, we can use it. Maybe it's already something integrated into the nervous system. So come up onto all fours again, and this time we'll do the same thing with the left side. So you're on your hands, on your knees reasonably far apart, and the instep is flat on the floor. You start to come to sit down, sit back. You can come with your hands closer to your knees, but at some point you start to lift your left hand, you start to lift your left knee, and you turn to your left side and open the jaw, and then come back again. And don't round yourself, but make an extension. When you sit back, you extend yourself and you open yourself to the left side. And keep your jaw loose, open your jaw. If you're home alone, you can stick your tongue out. Lots of things happening. And you're rolling your foot over the floor like a rubber stamp. And always turn your head to the left. And take a short break in sitting. Short break in sitting. Now, come on all fours again. Go back, lift your left knee a bit. Have your instep long, have your toes long on the foot. Then lift your right knee, bring down your right knee, bring down your left knee. So, you come back, eyes on the horizon, jaw a little bit open, lift your left knee, lift your right knee, bring down your right knee, bring down your left knee. Come back on all fours again. You're on all fours. You start to sit down, lift your left knee, lift your right knee, bring down your right knee, bring down your left knee, come on all fours again. All right? Do this like 2 or 3 times. Then, the next time you come to sit back, lift your right knee, lift your left knee, bring down your right knee, bring down your left knee. Come on all fours again. Start to sit back, lift your right knee, lift your left knee, bring down your left knee, bring down your right knee, come on all fours, take a rest on your back with the feet long. Here in Austria it's winter, it's quite cold outside, but now I start to feel warm. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a sweat. Okay, come on to all fours again. We will do variations. Do variations on your own. You could have your feet standing and start to sit back onto what? Onto your heels. And come back again. And always when you sit back, you bring your eyes to the horizon and open your jaw. And once you can lift your left knee, and once you can lift your right knee, left and right. Once you can turn to the left. Already getting better. Turn to the left, and you can turn to the right. You can do the same thing with your feet flat on the floor. Come to sit back and lift your left knee. Come to sit back and lift your right knee. Come to sit back and turn to the left or turn to the right. It's arching, rotation and side bending. It's never flexion. There's no flexion in this lesson. Except we could do a bit. Come onto all fours, have your feet standing. When you go backwards, round your back, and come on all fours again. And the next time you go back, extend your back. Once come back and round your back, and once come back and extend your back. Always with your jaw opening your jaw. Or with the feet flat. If the feet flat on the floor, you sit back with extended back, you lift your eyes to the horizon, open your jaw, stick out your tongue maybe, or you round your back. Extend your back or round your back. Lift one knee, lift the other knee. Take a rest on the back, last rest. I'm super flat on the floor. I'm a pancake. I'm on the floor pancake style. How is it for you? How are you lying on the floor? Leave a comment below. How is your relationship with the floor at the end of the lesson? Can you feel your back is more flat on the floor? If you're hurting somewhere, if your knees are hurting or your hip is hurting, you've done too much. Do less. Do the lesson again, but do less. Always stay in a range that's comfortable. Always find what feels nice, what feels comfort. Where's the comfort zone? We work in the comfort zone. It's like when you have a conversation with a friend, you talk about things that are easy to talk about. And with that, your friendship grows. If you talk about difficult stuff all the time, friendship might not be so good after some time, right? So, same with the body. We keep a friendship. You talk about things that are easily available, and with this, we extend the range of topics that are available. Last thing, come into all fours. With your feet standing, and once turn to the left on all fours, and then turn to the right. Turn to the left. You can stick your tongue out, open the jaw, turn to the right. Turn to the, it's a nice side bend, and it's always, your pelvis always moves with, your whole body moves. It's not just you turn to the left, but your whole body moves. Turn to the right, turn to the left, turn to the right. And then start to sit back with your feet flat, instep is flat on the floor, and bring your hands onto your knees. How is that? Let's go back to the first movement. When you're on all fours and you bring your toes to standing, you bring your toes flat on the floor. And just see how easy is that now. Is that faster for you? Do it as fast as you can. Do it with just the right foot. Do it with just the left foot. Left foot flat, left foot standing. Flat, standing, flat, standing. Right foot, right? And then start to come to sit back, sit back, sit back until you sit on your legs. You can do this lesson again. It will be easier each time. It will make more sense each time you do it. Alright, and then you can enjoy, if it's possible already. If it's not possible, you have to practice. It's as good, it's more humane than stretching, it's as good as stretching in its efficiency, the Feldenkrais method, but you have to practice. It's not magic, you have to engage yourself in movement. You have to move yourself. Alright, and then come to standing and just stand and see how it is in standing.